Castile, aka Spain, is one of the most fun nations both for new players just getting into EU4 and experienced ones. At the start you have to go through a brief disaster and boink some rebels. However, you start with a great economy as you have a gold mine in La Mancha, easy access to the second gold mine in Tafilalt, super fun mission tree that helps you quickly establish colonies and assert your dominance in Europe by giving you restoration of Union cities on multiple nations including Austria, England, and your friendly neighbor Portugal, which in return makes you colonize 10 times faster. In today's campaign we're going to put 90% of our focus to creating a gigantic colonial empire in a new world. Vamos, senor! This video is sponsored by Opera GX. Other browsers are pretty boring. They look and sound nearly identical, lacking the magic that sets them apart. You can customize your browser with themes, sounds, and visuals that reflect a more fantasy vibe. Head to the GX store to explore mods that bring a touch of adventure into your online experience. Whether it's a medieval-inspired design, atmospheric sounds, or otherworldly graphics, GX Mods lets you adjust your browser to match your unique interests. And remember, you can mix and match multiple mods and components to create a truly one-of-a-kind experience. I personally love Red Dead Redemption keyboard sounds, blockified UI font, and neon lambda taskbar icon. It makes the browser look and sound sick. If you're deep into an epic fantasy series or an intense gaming lore breakdown, our feature is here to be your trusty squire. Separate videos from the browser into a floating adjustable video frame. Stay immersed in your favorite fantasy worlds while managing quests, working, or studying at the same time. It's as easy as wielding a magic wand. Just click the button on the left and the windowed version of the video will follow you across every tab you open. Dude, medieval mod tab sounds are amazing. Now, what to do when an app disrupts your browsing experience? With Ad Blocker, you can eliminate distracting ads and enjoy your adventure without interruptions. GX is also equipped with an important tool that allows you to quickly import all your settings from your previous browser to GX, like browsing history, bookmarks, and cookies. It's also compatible with every Google Chrome extension. Click the link in the video description to install Opera GX and give the best browser out there a try right now. This is going to be my first proper Castile campaign since I believe 1.34 and my first Castile video on this channel. Now I have done some test runs because since the last time I played this, the nation has been updated quite a bit. Apart from that, I want to mention that we won't be going for the usual like Roman Empire expansion. We will be getting some strategical personal unions, but apart from that, I really want to make this run focused on colonizing with the intent of owning the entire South and North America and getting tons of money through treasure fleets. So, because of things like Castilian Civil War, which spawns a ton of rebels, and the factionless nobility privilege granted to us by default, which we can only revoke once we have 50% crownlands, and it reduces our monthly autonomy, it reduces yearly legitimacy. The early game usually is rough, but once you get past the troublesome start, then you really start popping off around 20 years or so into the game. So for now, let's go into our estates. Let's grab some privileges, including oversight by the clergy, religious diplomats, and some additional reform progress growth. For nobility, we will be going with supremacy over the crown, and we really don't want to grant more privileges to the nobility because we want to pay attention to the influence. To the burghers, we will be granting indebted to the burgher loans. We can also grab promote burghers bookkeeping, and I would like to go for allow burghers economic freedom. Since we need to get 50% crownlands, we are not going for the monthly monarch points yet, and we're going to just seize lands for now. We have around 800 ducats, so we can grab some good stuff, including Grand Armada Naval Doctrine, which is gonna increase our treasure fleet income by 50%, along with other benefits such as Marines Force Limit, National Sailors Modifier, and Naval Leader Maneuver. 50% is a lot, but we can boost this even more with a monument in Madrid, as at maximum level this will increase the treasure fleet income by 20%, so we will be making some really nice money, believe me. Now for the rivals, we can pick England, we can go with France, and why not Morocco. We don't want to go for Burgundy because we will be trying to get the Persian Union with them, and we can just start improving relations right now. We also want to make sure to have high relations with the Pope so we can get more papal influence, and it will help us complete one of the missions, which is why I'm going to spend 150 ducats to purchase indulgence. We can easily vassalize Navarra and integrate them after 10 years, so we will grab royal marriage, alliance, improve relations, and use any other functions that we can to increase relations, such as offering mill access, sending gifts, and so on. Also, let's go ahead and grab some advisors. Unfortunately, I don't have really good ones for level 1, so I'll just grab 4 defense for now. I really want to get the radical reforms, which is why I'm going to get the level 2 trade efficiency guy, even though he's a bit expensive. I think it's worth it. And of course, we're pairing him with yearly inflation reduction one. We're making good money, and partly because of our amazing gold mine in La Mancha, so we really don't have to worry about our economy that much. Now, regarding the missions, we will start with preparing for Reconquista. We need to have 100% of force limit for Navy and Army. We can queue up some light ships. Let's grab some barks. I would also like to build a flagship. Now let's make this a galley, and Castile has some really cool bonuses for the Navy. We can grab additional 30% fleet attrition reduction, 100% flagship cannons, and even integrated marines, which increases movement speed on and off ships by 33%. There we go. We start with 10% army professionalism, so it really depends on how you want to play around this. You can keep increasing it, have additional siege ability, shock damage, and so on, or you can get rid of it and grab some more manpower. That's what I like to do, just slacken recruiting standards at the beginning. And our force limit is 35, so we're just going to recruit regular soldiers until our force limit. We do start with this nice general with 2 shock, but I'm also gonna get an additional one. And honestly, we can make our air one. Enrique de Trastamara, only 1 shock, but it's better than nothing, and we don't really care about keeping this guy. And you might think it would be a good idea to just disinherit him for 50 prestige, although it's not really necessary, because eventually you will be getting the event Isabella of Castile, and you will get a really good heir. And we have our first disaster, the Infantes of Aragon. We have 2 options, but we're going to go with the first one, which is going to spawn a few more rebels. We're going to lose 1 stability, and this is going to impact the outcome of the Infantes of Aragon mission. And by choosing this option, we're going to get a better reward. So quickly, what we need to do is just take care of these rebels right away. And basically, before they spawn, what I did, I kept my armies in our forts, because sometimes they can spawn on the forts and immediately occupy them, and it would prolong getting rid of the disaster, and you would get tons of really annoying events. Okay, we have army deserters. For 130 ducats, we can get some additional legitimacy, morale of armies, and discipline. Yeah, I think it's entirely worth it. We don't want to lose morale of armies. And as we quickly dispatch these rebels, the end to the struggle with the Infantes of Aragon is here. We're going to get more legitimacy, 5% crown lands, and 17,000 manpower, which is just amazing. We can now also prepare Reconquista, giving us morale of armies and navies bonus for 15 years and some permaclaims. And let's quickly boost our stability back to +1. Which is now going to allow us to complete Infantes of Aragon mission, and we get better rewards because of our choice in that event. The negative effects of the factionless nobility will be reduced. We will get stability cost modifier -20%, yearly legitimacy +1, and all estates influence modifier -10%. This is the best one for 25 years. And our ruler also gets +1 points in all of the categories. So now pretty much what we want to do is just wait until we can declare a war on Granada, which is going to happen in February 1448. And until then, we can just disable our army maintenance. As we have improved relations with Navarra to 190, here we go, here's our first vassal. We have to remember to start the annexation in 1456 after 10 years. Oh god, France is the papal controller. Oh, okay, I don't like that. In this game, France is going to be pretty much our biggest rival. In my test run, what happened is they declared a war on Burgundy, and by trying to protect them, I basically ruined my run. So if that would happen in this one, I would simply let them have a part of Burgundy and just focus on reconquering that at a later point of the game, because in early parts of the game, France is much stronger than we are. Independence support from Naples. Are you kidding me, bro? Get the hell out of here, man. Okay, we will need an admiral, so let's recruit that real quick. Our truce is over, we can go ahead and declare this war. And surprisingly, Morocco is actually not going to join because they have 2 traits which reduce their willingness to join by 20. This is actually very rare, but I'm gonna accept that. But that doesn't make much of a difference because we're actually going to fight Morocco right after Granada in such a case. Because in any way you want to take some provinces from them, and specifically the provinces in the Sevilla trade node. Okay, so Granada is done for. That is super easy. Looks like Naples did get their independence after all. At some point we will need to take all of this back. Clearly these lands belong to us. This was super quick. I love it. Full annexation, full money as well, and the first thing we're gonna do is concentrate development. We're actually not going to lose any development, and it's going to be cheaper for us to core it. And we can finish the mission Reclaim Andalusia. We get permaclaims on Malta and North Morocco, and we can select one of these options, gain 1 stability and lose 25 papal influence, or we can convert the Granadan provinces to Catholic and get additional 25 influence for the cost of 1 stability. I like to select this option, so that's what I'm gonna go for. It really depends on how you want to play, but I'm just going to boost the stability to +1 once we get rid of the overextension. And yeah, it's time. Let's declare on Morocco and apparently to Gort as well. Conquest of Saleh. Now, to make this a bit easier, we're going to get expansion zealotry. And one thing we could have done differently is waited until we could seize lands again. This would have been a bit better. We're about to get level 4 military technology, so what I'm gonna do is switch our focus to admin. We will need a ton of admin points. And we can start abusing our allies like Burgundy a little bit by requesting them to give us ducats, soldiers, whatever else we need. So guys, Renaissance is available and it's spawned in Venetia, so we're going to try and improve relations with them and hopefully we can ask them to share it to us a bit later. What the hell are you looking at, dude? 12,000 soldiers just sitting on the top of the mountain. Get the hell out of my face. And this is a wipe. So we have 50 papal influence points and we have good relations with the Pope. We will get a seat of a new cardinal and every province with a cardinal will get 1 admin development. Beautiful. Looks like we will have a really good fort here in Burgos. And speaking of the forts, we're gonna get rid of the one in Malaga because it just costs way too much money and it's not really that good. We just stole 4 ships from Morocco. Fantastic stuff. Merino wool. Castile has secured a monopoly on the export of wool from merino flocks. All of our wool provinces will get 20% local production efficiency, although it's going to be a bit harder to develop them. It's not something we will prioritize anyways. The biggest factor is that we're losing 4% crownlands. Yeah, that's a hit. Alright, the war is over, so what we're going to take is all the provinces in Sevilla trade node. We're going to take some trade centers including Garb and Agadir, and we're also taking the Tafilalt gold mine, and this is exactly 100% war score. Amazing stuff. Now let's quickly complete this agenda by grabbing 1 additional privilege, monopoly rights. We're going to immediately finish it with this button. And then we can seize lands without any rebels. We're up to 39%, and we also get this amazing skill-free advisor. We're going to concentrate development wherever it is possible, and we're going to add the trade centers to our trade companies except Tafilal because we want to state this and we want to develop the gold mine. We can reduce the war exhaustion, core it up. We hit gold and Tafilalt and it's going to give us a 50% local goods produced modifier for 100 years. Yeah, that province is going to be insane. And it's not really a must that you take this. If you want to make it quick and easy, you can just grab the provinces in Sevilla trade node. But honestly, it's worth it because once we establish our colonial nations, we're going to be able to invest a lot of stuff into them, build stuff for them, give them subsidies. England is not having a good time versus France and with their rebels. 4,000 soldiers. I feel bad for these dudes. These next couple of years we're gonna pay attention to our possible rebels. We're gonna try and aim them so they cannot occupy any provinces and reset the separatism. Oh yes, exactly what we needed. The radical reforms. Now, both of you get the hell out of here. And we're grabbing 200 of each monarch points. Just amazing. Immediately we can upgrade our technologies. And this time I'm just going to grab level 1 advisors. We no longer need this fort because the devastation is gone here, as having a fort decreases it 10 times faster. Now let's just destroy it. So far we're not losing too much money and we still haven't developed our 2 gold mines, so once we do we're going to make tons of ducats. And alright guys, this is happening earlier than I expected, but we have Isabella of Castile and we have 2 options. We can get 100 of each monarch points and have her as a skill 2 diplomatic advisor, or we can make her an heiress with, as you can see, just beautiful stats. And obviously we're going to replace Enrique. Oh man, she's just so good. She's also an expansionist with additional settlers. It's going to greatly help us with colonizing. We have a little bit of an inflation, so we can start using our papal points. I'm gonna get Forgive Usury, which is gonna reduce our corruption, inflation, and interest per annum. And what do we got here? Reinforce royal authority, as we have less than 40 nobility influence. We have at least 40% crownlands. We get development cost reduction, monthly autonomy change reduction, monthly reform progress, and nobility estate gets 10% loyalty equilibrium. We just need to seize lands one more time and we will have 50%. For our tier 2 government reform, we can increase our tax modifier by 15%. Additionally, this is going to reduce nobility influence even further. And you know what? At this point, we can develop our gold mine at least a little bit in Toledo. First of all, we're going to get one of the local organizations, and for this one, I want to go with local development cost modifier. Additionally, this for 50 points increased our development in all the provinces in the state by 1, so this is 5 development for 50 points. And we can grab encourage development. Let's develop it a little bit with Diplo points. We can have this at like 8 dev, and already it's making us nearly 6 ducats. We do have a few loans, so eventually with this income we will be repaying them. These bastards, man. Genoa is sharing knowledge with Austria and no one else is sharing it. I think we got screwed that Venice got it instead of like Florence or Genoa, so we could have sniped this first. Almost forgot. Let's start annexing Navarra, and to make it a bit quicker, we're going to grab nobility integration policy. We got rid of all the rebels and we have some time, so we can continue our conquests in Africa. This time we're just going to attack Tlemcen and Jared. Once again, we're aiming to get trade centers. Oh my god, this is so lovely. Excellent Minister is a great event on its own. You can get prestige, go reform progress, admin points, mill points. But because our ruler is well advised, we get both the benefits and actually even more admin points. I absolutely love this. And we can also finally get knowledge sharing. Actually, let's get it from Portugal because it's in our best interest to make them richer. You know what? Why not? I wasn't planning to full annex the guys, but we can. So we're going to do it. With our expansion, it's finally to replace our older loans. So we're going to take a few new ones. And then we're going to take indebted to the burghers again. Which means we have 1.3 thousand ducats and we can embrace Renaissance. Let's take level 5 admin. And what we're going to do now is just focus on unlocking our first ideas, and we're going for exploration idea set. Great, we can grab a couple of barks and we can actually recruit an explorer now. Which means that we can finish our first colonial mission, and it's going to increase our colonial range by 20% and give us 50 diplo points. We need just a tiny bit more crownlands, so we're going to develop our second gold mine a tiny bit as well. And this means that we now have 50% crownlands and we can revoke factionalist nobility. Now, once you have revoked this privilege, what you want to do, it really depends on your playstyle. You can keep 50% crownlands, enjoy some additional reform progress growth, and also this way you will have one of the requirements for system of councils already completed. But what I like to do is immediately just grant more monarch points for all the estates, which is going to be what I'm going to do right now. We still stay at 20%, which is a healthy level. Oh yeah, there we go. On October 12th, 1492, after 34 days out of sight of land, Christopher Columbus and his crew set foot on an island in Bahamas, which Columbus named San Salvador. They have discovered a new world, which means we're getting 50 prestige and innovativeness. Well, this happened not in 1492, but let's just assume they meant 1466, right? Oh wow, Tunis is actually already allied with the Ottomans. These guys are not playing around. Okay, so this is where our African conquest will stop for now. Wait, what? What in the world happened here, bro? The Ottomans actually own a part of Naples. You gotta be kidding me. This would only happen in a Castile run. No way, dude. And Venice, what the hell is this, man? We also have a massive Herzegovina. I swear to god, every game, the most cursed stuff happens in the Balkans and Anatolia. Okay, we just got Isabel on our throne. We didn't need even to abdicate our ruler. And we finally have amazing monarch point generation. Our new heir is fantastic. Couldn't ask for a better one. And in 1469, we have the Iberian Wedding. What a year for this to happen. We're going to make Aragon our junior partner, and we just have to deal with 14 rebels in Gran Canaria. Let's move some of our boys there right away. That's just lovely, boys. That's just lovely. Now what we have is the mission claims in Aragon completed, and we can get the restoration of Union and Casus Belli on Portugal. I think this is incredible because England, as you saw in the beginning of the game, they were having massive issues as France and the disaster reigned their nation, and they're not going to join with their massive debt. If they would be joining, I would probably look for ways to avoid that. For example, we could declare a war on Tafilalt, which is guaranteed by Portugal, and this way we could ask Portugal to get rid of that alliance, but we are just getting insanely lucky, I guess. So I'm going to immediately complete this mission. I think it's about time that we start our golden era as well. So the only thing we need to do is develop our capital once. Boom, there we go. We have 30 dev and we have 3 of these objectives completed. We can go ahead and start it. Get level 6 a bit easier and also unlock our second idea, which is going to give us a colonist. Now, after doing this, we're going to select our native policy to be native repression with additional 20 global settlers. And we will also select new privileges, and this is why it's important to keep at least one space for all the estates open, because you get new ones such as native assimilation, nobility expedition rights, which reduces colony cost modifier, and you can essentially just colonize multiple provinces for very cheap. And let's not forget grant new world charters with additional settlers. We have our first age bonus too, and we're going to go for colony development boost. Fortunately, Portugal has already unlocked exploration ideas, so we will definitely start this war, because this is also worth to keep in mind that if they haven't unlocked these ideas yet, you might want to wait, otherwise the AI might get some different ideas and not colonize stuff for you. Oh Portugal, you're not ready for this, as we're grabbing additional 10% morale of armies to help us out. We're going to absolutely destroy them. Look at that, man. Honestly, we could probably just avoid fighting them so they have more units once we subjugate them. This took a lot of re-rolling, but we finally got a colonial range advisor. And we can now finally establish our first colony. Let's go for Colonial West Indies first. We're just going to quickly send a couple of our finest soldiers to that province. Discover the Caribbean mission is gonna give us a conquistador with 75 tradition and additional settler increase. Lovely. And I'm actually gonna send this 7,000 stack over to our new colony as well. And we're gonna have these guys hunt for the 7 cities for us. Now, when it comes to Portugal, we're of course grabbing the Union, we're grabbing the province of Ceuta, and I'm gonna take Ifni. And apart from that, I'm not even going to take their money, they can keep it. Here we go, we have the personal union, amazing. Immediately we can complete Recover Portugal, which is gonna give us 25 prestige converted into each type of monarch points as we're maxed out. Additional production in Lisbon and Porto, and +1 stability. Crown of Austria mission is unlocked. We can get 10% siegeability and restoration of Union Casus Belli on Austria. Wait, what the hell, man? These guys are in a coalition against Bohemia. This game is wild. Yeah, so at this point we're not ready for this war yet, we're just going to hold this mission. And next we have Continue Reconquista, giving us morale of armies, papal influence from cardinals, missionary strength, and more claims. Once again, I would like to hold this as we're not going to use that morale of armies efficiently yet, and we can pair this with a war versus Austria later on. Okay boys, we have our tier 3 government reform, and we're going to go for exile colonial companies, increasing our settlers' chance by 5%. What I will need from you guys is to take care of the rebels in Africa automatically. I don't want to deal with this crap. And once we have this done, we're going to super focus on colonies now. So first things first, establish as many colonial nations as possible. Trinidad is actually in Colombia, so we have a start here. We're gonna grab 2 more provinces from Carib and Arawak if they don't move. I'm gonna quickly fight these natives, recall our colonists, and we're going to establish our second colonial nation in St. Vincent. The first benefits from our adventures exploring the new world are here, and we can grab yearly prestige until the end of the game. The search for El Dorado is here. We can start establishing the third one next to Tupinimba. Long Pig? What the hell, man? I'm not losing 100 Diplo points, are you kidding me? The whole world can hate me, I'm not losing any monarch points, bro. And guys, as we have our first claims, we're going to start our colonial wars. There we go. You guys go here. And then we do another one versus Arawak. We're exploring the new world at the lightning speed because we're using 2 different fleets for that. And exploring different parts of the world. And actually I think it's time to build some stuff. We can build a couple of churches, like this one is gonna give us 0.43 ducats, that's great. We will build some workshops soon as well. So for this mission, Law and Order, we will need 2 of our provinces to be improved at least 3 times, or we could also expand infrastructure. I think I'm just going to develop it right now. Boom, there we go, we don't need the mill points. Until the end of the game, we get additional monthly reform progress and state governing cost. That's great. Oh man, okay, for this mission, Descent unto Italy, we will actually need to fight the Ottomans, as the unlikeliest thing happened and they got a part of Naples. Oh wow, okay, so Cleves apparently is now the H3 Emperor. We might want to fight Austria sooner than later. So I'm gonna grab this alliance with Bohemia. We can use them in the war. And honestly, let's complete both of these missions now. Continue Reconquest and Crown of Austria. And we can also do convert Iberia because of the option that we selected in the Granadan event, and we converted these provinces, which now means we have additional tolerance of true faith and even more prestige and loyalty. There is one more mission that we can complete easily to even boost our armies even more for that war with Austria. So what we're gonna do is grab 4 more generals so we have more selection for our army. And because we now have 15% professionalism, we can do armies of Iberia, giving us morale damage plus 10%. And access to Spanish Armada with additional 20% morale of navies, additional ship cannons. We get perma claims on England. And should we complete this mission while England or Great Britain follow a heretic religion while being eligible for a personal union, we will get a restoration of union casus belli. Right now England is Catholic, so we might wanna hold this on. There's a lot of holding on in this mission tree, I gotta tell you. You wanna complete this stuff once you are 100% ready, because if you're not careful, these modifiers will run out and you will lose the casus bellis. I'm gonna go for one more colonial war, and after then we will stop our colonial expansion for a little bit and go focus on Austria. It's nice to see Portugal is actually colonizing South America too now. Good stuff, guys, keep it up. They do have some financial issues, so once we have a little bit more money ourselves, we're going to repay their debt so they can just efficiently continue colonizing. What the hell are you doing, man? Really, Bosnia and Serbia? You cannot just take Bosnia and Serbia like that, bro. We're the peacemakers when it comes to the Balkans, and we're declaring this restoration of union of war. We're inviting Burgundy and Bohemia. Don't get me wrong, this is not going to be easy, because Hungary is there, England is there, we have a bunch of Italian nations, HRE minors. Yep, this is going to suck, but we need this personal union, so let's go. Now, I'm going to queue up a couple of additional galleys because England probably has a good navy, don't they? They have 32 ships, that's not bad. Also, let's unlock our second ideas, and it's going to be expansion. Can grab an additional colonist right now. Boys, I will need you to come back because I would love to start colonizing Mexico. Okay, we're gonna start with Genoa. Let's go there, boys. And yeah, we want to make this quick, so I am going to barrage. Oh, I love to see it. Our helpful allies are actually kicking English asses. Dude, it's honestly incredible how much stronger we are than anybody in this massive war. Nobody even comes close to our current morale because of all the bonuses that we have racked up. And being nearly maxed out on power projection and prestige helps a ton as well. As we have developed Tafilalt to 10 base production, it gives us 11 decades monthly. This is insane, boys. Thankfully, we can start piecing some of these nations out. We're gonna grab war operations money and just break whatever alliances to get a little bit more extra prestige. Oh, the stupid Cleves, he had to join the battle, didn't he? We might win it anyways. Oh, nope, we're not doing that. Yeah, as strong as we are, we cannot really split our units. This is not great. Bohemia pieced out, but we are very close to getting England out of here too. So we can probably try and blockade them, get additional war score that way. And okay, easy as that. England is out. Hungary is on medium. It's gonna be easy to get them out too. Alright, nice. Before we were even able to finish this war, we got the Burgundian PU. So Austria is gonna be our 4th personal union. This is great. Our first colonial nation has been established. We have the Colonial Brazil, our new self-governing colony. Now we're also working on colonies in North America. It's here. We finally have Austria. That's 96 aggressive expansion. Yeah, there's a few nations unhappy about this. Who cares about them? You know what? I'm going to declare a war on Morocco before taking this peace deal so they don't enter the coalition because I want to clean up this area. And we're probably going to do the same with Tafilalt. Oh, we actually don't have a claim on these guys, so let's build one first. No to Piniquim? Nope. I don't approve what they're doing, and the problem is that we actually cannot declare a war ourselves. I'm just gonna get another colony going there. And let's give Colonial Brazil some subsidies. We can give them like 6 decades for now. We're not insanely rich yet, but we're working on it. Leaves is gonna declare a war on us. Yeah, that's fine. Don't care. They actually joined the same war, so have fun because we're about to peace out. Oh, I didn't even notice. We finished Caribbean colony. That's great because we're gonna get additional monarch points, and for 15 years we're getting 20% settler chance, so we want to establish as many colonies as possible in these 15 years. There we go. We can finally enforce peace on this bastard. bad dog to Piniquim. And 10% settler chance from our ideas as well. We were able to grab the rest of Maghreb for ourselves and even break the Tunisian alliance with the Ottomans, so next time we fight them we won't need to deal with the pesky Ottomans. And from here it's really time to chill. And by chill, I obviously mean we're going to destroy everybody in the New World. We're making some claims in Mexico, and we're gonna start setting up some new colonies. Oh, there we go. Now that's what I'm talking about. Hunt for the 7 cities pays off. We get 800 ducats. The province of Cerro is El Dorado with reduced unrest, development cost, and it gets 12 development as well. So we want to get this province for sure. We have finally finished the entire exploration ideas set, and we get an additional colonist from our national ideas, and we can also fabricate claims in any colonial region belonging to another nation. After finishing these ideas, we also have access to sales of exploration. Our rulers will be more likely to get the expansionist trait, and Isabel gets 1 diplo point. Now it means that our future rulers will have this 15 global settlers. Well, most likely they will. And this, guys, is the type of war set we will now be starting in the New World. Yes, it's time to get greedy. Actually, you know what? We can probably afford to get to level 8, so these guys will have absolutely no chance as they are level 3s and level 4s so far. We will get temporarily the unbalanced research plus 0.10% corruption, but that's gonna be solved as soon as we get to level 6 Diplo. We're making some colonies in Canada at the same time, and I love it, man. There's no coalition. Everybody's loyal as it gets. This is the power of Castile, all while focusing on colonies. Oh damn, Isabella died quite young. She was below 40 years, I believe. Yeah, that's very unlucky, but the good thing is that Enrique is really competent as well, so it's all good. Yet another colonist, boys. We have 4 colonists already. And another special truce has run out, which means more and more provinces for us. We're gonna keep attacking these guys every 20 years. It's just very rapid expansion this way. The truce with Tunis has expired, and fortunately we have some soldiers here in North Africa, and of course we have Aragon sitting here. These guys are just sitting here having a good time. It's time to fight, boys. It's time to fight. Yes, finally we have our first policy. Global settlers and native uprising chance minus 50%, and this means that natives will no longer rise up because we also have New World missions that decrease it by 50 as well. This gives us so much freedom. We can just not use these small stacks of soldiers to protect our provinces and just continue colonizing wherever we please. Alright, there we go. We finally have established Colonial Mexico, which means we can finally also finish the remainder of these wars. And guys, this is huge. This is absolutely massive. This is how much land we took in what it was 2 wars, I believe, and we're gonna continue going. Best thing is that there's no overextension, so we can also take a peace deal from Tunis, which for now is gonna look like this. Dude, I'm not gonna say no to some free provinces. Sardinia doesn't have much of protection, so we can just use Aragonese claims and declare a quick one. Okay, I believe Mexico is gonna need a little help to expand, so let's give them like 7 ducats monthly subsidies. And we finally have access to courthouses, so that's what we're gonna spam. Our gov capacity is looking okayish, but we did have to take one of the privileges increasing it. I took nobility land rights. The birth of colonialism, and of course we got it in one of our provinces, which means we're getting 100 of each monarch points, 20 prestige, and 25 government reform progress, as well as major colonial port with local trade power plus 5. Fantastic stuff. And actually we have so many mill points and really nowhere to use them, so what we can start doing is getting some of these local organizations, and I think why not increase our manpower. Let's go with this one in pretty much on all of our provinces. Order of Santiago. This is a ton of development doing it this way. Dude, we already have 1.5 thousand development. It's barely 1500s. I'm gonna build some barracks as well. I believe we need 15 for one of the missions. Yeah, so for this one, assemble the tercios. Once we have 15 and it's no longer Age of Discovery, we will be able to get some nice rewards. There's another one that we could quite easily do, and that's reform the treasury. We need a treasurer level 3, and we need burghers loyalty of 60 because we're not going for the trade ideas. I'm actually gonna take 1 loan for this, and let's upgrade this guy right now. We can do the burgers agenda to pretty much automatically complete that mission. And what do we have here? The Spanish dollar happens. Until 1521 we get yearly inflation reduction, global trade power, burghers loyalty, Enrique gains 1 admin point. That's great. For the new capital we need to have a state house, or Toledo needs to have 5 buildings. So once again, very easy to do. We already have 4 here. Paper will now be produced in Toledo and we get 6 development. And this is where we will need to continue boosting our crownlands. Alright, Sublimis Dues, we have 2 options, 20 papal influence and for 100 years establish local organization cost minus 20%. Oh, come on, dude. I waited for that before establishing everything in Iberia. Or we could choose for 100 years for our colonies to get a goods produce modifier plus 5%, and honestly, this is now the best option for us. This bastard, Huastec, has occupied 2 of our provinces. What we're gonna do is not just peace out like that, but build a claim and declare on these guys. All of this are belong to me, bro. Hey, Portugal, what the hell are you doing, man? It's not supposed to look like this, man. Okay, it's a free colony. Oh, I love it, loyal subjects. Well, we're not annexing anybody, so let's just grab some diplo points. Our subjects are the best, boys. Look at them, so loyal and peaceful. We have way too much spy network on these guys. We might as well steal some maps from them. Perfect, we have colonialism embraced, and in no time we will have level 10 admin technology and be able to form Spain. I would say this is a decent looking Mexico so far. I believe we can focus on different regions, but obviously we do have to help them out with the rebels a bit too, because we made them annex these countries in no time, so yeah, it's a lot of overextension for them. You guys actually deserve more subsidies. Let's give them 10 ducats. Okay, let's put some more points into developing Sevilla. And there, as we have developed it 10 times and built some stuff, we have Port of Sevilla, which will give us the event Trade Center of Sevilla, 20% local trade power until the end of the game. Now we need 50 lightships and 6 shipyards, and we need to increase our trade power in the Straits of Gibraltar to 70%. We currently have 67, so should be easy to do. There we go, we actually immediately have it after the monoptic. 10% trade efficiency and burghers loyalty for 20 years, and we get until the end of the game increase for settler chance and global settlers. Very useful. We need 1 more province in Colombia and we will have another mission done, so I'm just going to cancel 1 of our colonists. Very easy to do once again. We just have way too many admin points. We don't have any inflation. Right now, not much to spend them on, so I guess we can boost up Mexico with some local organizations. Let's just give them goods produce modifier in all of their provinces. There we go. With this next government reform, let's empower our Marines with amphibious specialization. This is gonna give them 20% regiment manpower usage reduction, National Sailors modifier plus 10% for us, Marines force limit plus 10%, disembark speed. You guys go and continue exploring for me, please. What the hell is going on here, boys? I'm not liking this, so I will put a stop to this madness. Oh my god, that's a lot of nations. I actually don't see most of them. You know what? Let's start with a little smaller fish. I'm gonna make a colony here, and we're going to attack this nation, which I'm not going to pronounce their name, simply because I choose not to. There we go. We're establishing a colony in the Ivory Coast, and this allows us to do West African ports, reducing construction costs, increasing trade steering for 25 years and giving us 2 mercantilism. And now we just need to discover all provinces in the Moluccas region. Eventually we will get that done. Let's go to the South Indian Ocean as we speak about it. Oh god, everybody's starting to declare wars on our new colony. I hate when it happens. I personally hate that. Dude, enforce peace and they're immediately just giving it up. What's the point, man? Oh my god, we actually have 1,000,000 rebels in Mexico. Yeah, these guys are having a hard time. And there we go, we have upgraded our technologies to level 10 and we have another idea group available. We gotta go with trade ideas. We're making a rich nation here, not really depending on expansion. So this is gonna give us a big boost to our economy. Hey, what the hell is this, man? How did these rebels end up in Canada? That's unfair, bro. Okay, I'll move. And yeah, guys, as much as I would love to keep Aragon as our subject, we're better off integrating them and forming Spain, because we will also get the province of Malta with this amazing monument, and 15% war score cost versus other religions is gonna be great. So yeah, there we go. Form Spanish nation diplomatically. We inherit Aragon, we're now Spain, and we can grab new traditions and ambitions as well, which means we now have 15% morale of armies, artillery fire +1, 2 yearly papal influence, an additional colonist that we already had, institution spread and reform progress growth, Naval Force Limit Modifier plus 25% and a Heavy Ship Combat Ability plus 10. We have 15% global tariffs. Then we have yearly prestige. We have Diplo possible policies plus 1, so we can have 4 of them. And to top it off, 5% discipline. Now what we can do is upgrade our rank to an empire. Sure, let's accept a couple of additional cultures. And I believe we didn't have this before, right? So our mission tree has been extended. This is great. New states, which means we can get new holy orders in them. We can just grab local goods produced. Yeah, we have a bit too many soldiers, but what we can do is get rid of some mercenaries that I had. So you get the hell out of here. We have exactly 100 ships, which is our force limit. The Knights of St. John of Jerusalem, they want the province of Malta. No way, dude. Absolutely no way. Actually, I would love to replace our old loans by now, because we're gonna make some very important investments. And by investments, I mean we're finally starting to upgrade Madrid. These guys barely had any buildings, so we're gonna get some new churches, new workshops. Let's recall a couple of colonists so we can finish this chunk, which is gonna give us the Colonial La Plata. We can attack Guarani too for faster expansion. So we finally have 5 provinces in Colombia. We will get a conquistador with pretty good stats and tons of permaclaims. For the new kingdom of Granada, we will need 5 states with holy orders in Colombia and to own entirety of it. So it's gonna take some time. And then we have Incan hordes, for which we pretty much need to eliminate Cusco and colonize some additional provinces. Oh boy, yeah, that's a ton of colonial stuff left to do. Guys, I think our colonial run up until 1519 is very successful. As you can see, we have quite a few subjects, and even though we mainly focused on colonizing, we also managed to get a few personal unions. As we navigated through the Spanish mission tree, we formed Spain as Castile. We're starting to get treasure fleets, which from the Mexican colony we will get 720 ducats, and this is without us finishing the monument in Madrid. We only have the first level so far. For now, the strategy is to establish as many colonial nations as possible. We're making them all self-governing colonies. This means they get an additional colonist and they all at the same time continue expanding, while we ourselves focus on one region. When it comes to conquests, we focus on Mexico. As you can see, we eliminated pretty much all the nations here. We're now gonna focus on Mississippi, Southeast, Rio Grande regions, and eventually the plan is to own the entirety of North and South America. Obviously, at some point we will be going for the personal union over England, but first we need to wait until they switch their religion if we want to get that union unlocked through our missions with Spanish Armada. We have 2000 development, and if you guys want to see the second part to this run, let's get 2000 likes. I know we can do it because recently a few of my videos have gotten this number, so if we'll get it, I will know that you want to see it. I will start working on it as soon as possible. So a massive thank you for supporting the channel to Tier 2 members Biologist, Lazar, RogueRhino, Tier 3 member Devertion, and Patreon supporters Lazar and Nikolas. Really appreciate you guys.